Hello everyone. So this particular video I'm going to show you how to install a tiny web server on a very tiny system called the Tincore Linux. So Tincore Linux, basically if you go to the website, you can just get a let's say introduction on what the system is about. So they say it's not a complete desktop, nor is all hardware completely supported. Represents only the core needed to boot into a very minimal X desktop, typically with wired internet access. So this is a fantastic image because especially when you're running on virtual systems and in lab environment, this takes up very little resources, and it makes a excellent system to do all your testing and trials. So basically now here I'm going to show you how to install a web server on a Tincore Linux, and then make it persistent. One of the things the Tincore has is that every time you reboot the system, it reboots the entire file structure from scratch. So you have a completely brand new system. So whatever changes, what are the file system changes you make, every time you reboot, it's gonna vanish. So but you can make it persistent. This is one command which you can input, and then it will make the system persistent from the backup. Every time you reboot the system, it's gonna take the backup from the during the boot up time. Okay, so let's see how to install the web server. So yeah, here I have my Linux system. It's Tincore connected to the internet, and mind you, I'm running this on the cloud, Google Cloud. So you might be running it on your local system, depends on what environment it is, but currently I'm running on Google Cloud. And one more thing what I would like to tell you is that I forgot. Okay, let's see. Anyways, let's boot the system. The system is already booted. I'm going to take the control of the system. Okay, so yeah, so in case you want to know how to upload the image onto UNG, you can visit UNG website, and documentation on that. It will provide you a link to go to the where you can download the image. Download the image from their website. It's fairly simple. In case you want a video showing you how to do that, please let me know in the comment section, and I will be happy to do so. Okay, so these are the commands that I will be showing to install the web server and to make the system persistent. So 1 2 3 4 commands. It's fairly simple. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to just take the terminal, application, and terminal. Okay, so here it comes. It's a small delay because because of the cloud environment. I think this the location setting for my cloud image is, I don't know, somewhere in Southeast Asia. So, and I'm in India, so probably there's a latency. That's why the small delay. But if you're running it on your local system, or if you're running somewhere on the cloud which is close to your location, it shouldn't be an issue at all. And the best part about Tincore is that it runs on a very bare minimal requirements. Let it be the hardware, learn some very bare RAM requirement, and it's as the name says, it's very tiny. Okay, so let's begin. So yeah, let's start. So first we need to install the web server. So the command to install the web server, we'll be installing busybox. It's again a tiny web server which you can install, and the command for that is sudo tce-load wi busybox-httpd.tcz. Okay, sorry about that. so used to putting sudo everywhere. So it's going to download the code, and voila, that's done. And we need to create a index file system, a web page that will be displayed every time you enter the website IP address. So let's do it. Okay, sudo make directory. Okay, you can see which directory you're currently on. So mine is at home and city, so I'll make a directory there. Make sudo make directory / home / Tincore, and my own directory, new directory, site. Okay, and then we'll make the index file. So let's say sudo vi is the editor, make directory, let's say vi / forget what I'm doing / tc /www site index.html. all right, okay, let's so what should I put? Welcome fuzzy networks. Okay, I'm going to save this. Okay, that's done. So you created the web page to be displayed, the default web page. Okay, so once that is done, let's make changes to the bootloader. So basically what this does is that every time the system reboots, this is the commands that the system will be executing. It will start the web browser, it will start the busybox web server, it will copy your index file from the backup to the user local bin. So these are things that we are telling the system to do this on every boot up. Okay, so let's do it. Copy our let's get inside the bootloader first. Okay, sudo vi /opt /bootlocal.sh. Okay, so this is the place. Let's start to make the changes. Okay, so I'm going to pause it. So we're back. So yeah, so I've just copied all the commands. Sorry, I've typed all the commands here. So basically, we're copying the index page from there to the user file, user folder every time we boot up, and we're going to start the busybox-http server. It'll be listening on port 80, and it's running on this particular user local folder. So once this is done, so I'm going to save this. Okay. So now the thing is done. Now the last step is to take a backup. So this particular command, what it does is that it takes the backup of the entire system and whatever changes we have made, and every time the system reboots, it's going to push the backup on this. It's going to use this particular backup to restore all the settings. So in case you make the IP address changes and you don't run this filetool command, then next time you reboot your IP, you go back to the default, so it won't be the one that you entered. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that you run the filetool command every time you want to save the changes. So let's do this. Sudo filetool.sh-b. So it's backing up all the files. Voila, and it's done. So I'll show this now. What I'll take the same. I'll change the system to a different lab environment, and I'll show you how we can use this this server that we just created. Okay, so I'm going to pause the system until I change the lab files. Okay, see you guys. Okay, so here we go. So yeah, so this Linux system 9 is running the web server. This is similar to the one that we just created the last in the a couple of minutes ago, but this is a different system, but with sudo configuration. And this is the system which is going to be accessing the web server running on this. So this is 32.2, this is 33.3. So the traffic is going to go from this to switch, go to the firewall, and switch it from there, and it's going to come through 33.1, then the switch, then 33.2. So basically the traffic is going from here to here and coming back. Okay, so let's take the system 32.2, open. So let's take the terminal, just check the configuration IP 32.2, let's ping it, 122.16.33.2. so yes, there's connectivity. And let's take the browser and see if we have the web page. Okay, there you go. 172, not now. Okay, 172.16.33. So voila. So this is something which I don't know. But so basically, our previous one was welcome to fuzzy networks. Yeah, so that's supposed to come here, but there's some other page that we created, so it's coming here like this. So that's it. So this is basic simple. So all the commands I'll be putting it in the below description, in the description section of the video. So guys, let me know if this video was helpful for you. If you want any more kind of videos similar to this, let me know and I'll be happy to upload. Thank you and God bless.